Now, the Vine boom sound effect is a staple of internet culture that has been around for over a decade and is showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. But where did it come from? How was it created? Are you going to remember to like and subscribe by the end of the video? How did this go from a 2-second MP3 file on someone's computer to a symbol that universally represents shock and surprise across races, ages, nations, ethnicities, pronouns, all of the different groups? Say it with me, everybody. So one day an animator was just messing around when he accidentally created a minion on a that's the wrong script. One day a sound designer working under the name of Blue Zone Corporations was just messing around as one does and created a sound pack uploaded to YouTube titled Cinematic Session Industrial Samples and Impacts Boom Sound Effects Metal Sound Effects. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, that one. Which, by the way, random side note, Blue Zone Corporations is actually employed by lots of huge companies such as Disney, Epic Games, Sega, Blizzard, and quite a few others also. Anyways, this video is uploaded to YouTube and it was described as professional metal sounds such as booms, heavy impacts, industrial clangs, cracks, drops, ambient hits, and cinematic iron sounds. Various objects were used in different industrial environments with reverb to give you a wide choice of hitting and falling metal sounds. Upon opening the video, I was immediately greeted with the full, unadulterated, uncompressed, full quality version of the Vine boom sound effect that we all know and love. Roll the clip. Isn't it beautiful? That reverb goes on for a lot longer than you think it does. As far as who made the sound and what objects were used to create the sound, nobody really knows. I sent an email to the company asking these questions, but I would honestly be really surprised if they got back to me before this video comes out with any useful information. But if anything does end up coming out, I'll be sure to let y'all know. Now I could sit here and talk to you about the spread of the Vine boom sound effect and how it was popularized, but a random creator on TikTok actually made a very good video about it. Let's sit here and watch it real quick.
I need somebody to make a video essay about the cultural influence of the Vine boom.
On April 10th, 2014, King Batch filmed a Vine where he is seen combing his hair and admiring himself in the mirror alone in the bathroom, only to have the lights suddenly turn off as he expresses his shock and confusion. A man then suddenly appears in the bathroom with King Batch's assumed girlfriend. He then lets Batch know that he is stealing his girl. King Batch is obviously upset at this, but before he has the chance to react, the lights turn off, then turn back on to reveal both the man and Batch's girlfriend gone. King Batch then looks up, expressing his wonder and amazement at the feat that this man was just able to pull off. The humor here is that King Batch is almost more impressed with the physical capabilities of the human mind and body than he is upset at the fact that his woman was just taken by a random man appearing in his bathroom. Now, when you take into account the fact that he was alone in the bathroom to begin with, it really opens up the possibility that this is much more than just a goofy short little video, but a societal statement on the people preying on your downfall, going way out of their way to let you know that they are causing a grievance to your life which you were previously unaware of. King Batch then metaphorically spits in the face of the aforementioned hater, and more just being impressed at the lengths that some people will go to try and lower his overall quality of life. The video was almost perfect, another one of King Batch's deep and profound statements on society and culture, but it was only missing one thing. He pulled up his trusty YouTube to MP3 converter, looked up boom sound effect, and randomly chose the first sound in the first video to pop up, completely unaware of the long-lasting impact that this would have on not only Vine, but the entirety of internet culture. An impact that would outlast hundreds of memes, trends, and even entire social media platforms. An impact that can perfectly define and encapsulate the humor of 3 generations now in a single 2-second MP3 file with no sign of ever slowing down. You are about to see, to my knowledge, the first use of the classic Vine boom sound effect. My green screen video isn't working, so I just have to record my computer. Sorry about that.
Damn, I look good. How did you describe smashing your girl?
Wow, what a really awesome and entertaining creator. Please follow my TikTok. Now this would end up being the first of many, many times he would go on to use this sound, which eventually led to other really popular creators of the time also using the sound in their vines, such as, but not limited to, Lele Pons, Brent Rivera, Logan Paul, Amanda Cerny, and many others. Now the fact that it was quickly picked up and immediately overused by these creators, quickly led to the ironic use of the sound before Vine had even ended up shutting down. In 2016, you already had creators spamming the sound effect and even oversaturating it, which is kind of crazy for this early in the time. Now, this sound effect would continue to be used all the way throughout the rest of the Vine line, the Vine timeline. Idiot. I thought that was obvious. All the way up until the shutdown of Vine in January of 2017. Now, the event of Shine shutting down The event of Vine shutting down was a small but necessary hiccup in the lifetime of the Vine boom sound effect, but I think the fact that it was gone so soon played an important role in the continuous lifespan of the Vine sound effect. And you'll see why in a little bit. Yes, this section is labeled death, but it's really more of a state of dormancy. From the shutdown of Vine up until 2020, which was a period of about 3 years, it definitely was not hard to still find videos that use the Vine boom sound effect, but it was not being used nearly as much as it was in its prime. I think one reason this could be is that as far as regular short form content consumption went, your choices were really either Instagram or Musical.ly. And what I remember of Instagram from this time period is that it was a lot of like this kind of stuff, and Musical.ly was just kind of lip syncing to whatever song was trending at the time. Yeah, that was kind of a weird time for all of us. As you can see, very far off from the current state of TikTok today, but we'll get to that. If people were watching truly original content, it was most likely 5 to 30 minute long video essays from either reactionary or commentary YouTubers talking about things like weird ads, weird Instagram accounts, bad movies, things along those lines. And the classic Vine boom just didn't really have a spot in any of these little places. Now in 2017, Musical.ly rebranded to TikTok. That led to the whole gamers versus furries war, which was yet another strange time for all of us. And again, this kind of just consisted of lip syncing or doing a certain motion or activity to whatever trending audio was going around TikTok at the time. And the state of Instagram around this point was nothing to write home about either. Page 2 of the script, done. And as previously stated, you could still find the Vine boom sound effect, but you would definitely have to go out of your way to look for it. These trends would continue into 2019 and into the beginning of 2020. Now in April of 2020, TikTok was skyrocketing in popularity and other social media platforms wanted in on some of that action. This was when Instagram Reels entered the scene. I feel like a majority of people already got their memes from Instagram in the first place, so that kind of translated over into the Reels really well, I think. It's important to note here that the aforementioned image-based memes that were going around Instagram at the time before Reels were already kind of starting to dip into that sort of absurdist, chaotic territory, and I think that the transfer over to Reels really just exaggerated all of the weirdness and sort of postmodern absurdism that was already starting to show up in memes. Now, a common form of meme that one may see scrolling through Instagram Reels around this time was random clips taken from around the internet, various places, edited together in a very chaotic fashion without context. This would later be given the label of 21st century humor. I think that this was a result of older folks being a little bit confused about Gen Z's humor as our humor was really starting to develop, which naturally led to the collective mindset of the more chaotic and the more random a video is, the funnier it is.
Man, I'm finna whip this hoe.
White people be like, oh, I know.
We really came full circle with the whole random equals funny thing that was going on with the whole narwhal bacons at midnight type shit. And you would see a lot of vines pop up in these sorts of videos, which naturally would lead to the slow but certainly steady rebirth of the Vine boom sound effect, this time in more of an ironic fashion. It would get saturated, spammed, and overused to death, except this time, little voice crack there, everyone sort of agreed that it was in much more of an ironic sense. Now it's around this time that the pandemic hit, which I think really only exaggerated any absurdism and chaoticness. What? Chaos that was already taking place because we were all kind of starting to lose our minds a little bit from being inside all day. Until eventually, I, along with many other people, had a sense of humor that was buried in so many layers of irony, I didn't even know what was ironically funny or actually funny at this point, which I think is key in understanding how the Vine boom sound effect made it out of the depths of lost and forgotten memories and irony. And for a little while, it continues to be used in this sort of 50-50, half ironic, half unironic, funny sense, until in March 2021, somebody edited the Vine boom sound effect on top of a video of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson lifting up one eyebrow. This might not seem like very much if you don't know what I'm talking about, but trust me, this was pivotal in the rebirth of the iconic Vine boom sound effect. This video, along with the whole sus thing going around, our recent confusion regarding our own humor, being buried in so many layers of irony and satire, and the mask mandate just being lifted, led to the collective decision that after all of these years, the Vine boom sound effect was something that, yes, was in fact still funny. This video of The Rock still makes me laugh to this day. Yes, I just made up a word for this segment. So now here we are today. You see Kai Cenat, along with lots of other streamers that are popular with the younger generation, introducing all of these kids to the Vine boom sound effect, many of which are younger than the sound effect itself. Let that sink in for a second. You also see more mainstream creators with a more young adult fan base using this sound, and it's cool that with them, there's still those little hints of irony and nostalgia mixed in with all of the humor. Combine that with the fact that more people are pursuing content than ever right now, and anytime somebody needs a universally understood sound to convey shock, surprise, disbelief, amazement, astonishment, being knocked for a loop, floored, dumbstruck, they always have an iconic and infamous sound effect that they can turn to, providing warmth and light like a fire in the middle of the big scary snowstorm that is pursuing a career in content creation. Why did you? No! So what I was trying to say before I got so rudely fucking interrupted by my camera overheating, can you believe the audacity of that motherfucker? I'm putting my Patreon uploads on hold for the time being because I have a current total of 0 patrons. So why does it make sense to edit and record a whole extra video per week for nobody to see it? I was doing a whole extra video every single week for the Patreon exclusive, and nobody was seeing it. So I might just upload those to YouTube. I know that everybody says this, but it's not about the money for me. It's about putting a smile on people's faces. I want people to see what I'm putting out there. And so until I hit 10,000 subs, which is my goal at the moment, enjoy an extra video every single week. New uploads on Saturdays and Wednesdays every day at 7 p.m. Central Time. Patreon, actually, sorry, wow. I've said Patreon, Instagram, TikTok, link in the description so many times. I'll put my Venmo in the description or something if you feel like donating to a small content creator, which would be so greatly appreciated. And Patreon and all that stuff is so confusing anyway. I just don't want to deal with any of that right now if it's not worth it. It just hasn't been working out. Venmo, Instagram, TikTok, links in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day, everybody.
Hey, yo, the pizza here.